I am not the ultimate fisherman, but I'm getting there. Today I've come out to Tannehill State Park up around McCalla, Alabama. See, back in 1830, these ore-rich hills and this swift-moving creek lent themselves to iron production. The blast furnaces here were utilized for pig iron, and once the Civil War got underway, they were supplying the Southern armies. During Wilson's raid in 1865, this area was attacked by the Union Army, and the furnace and everything was just burned to the ground. But since then, it's been rebuilt to this fantastic state park. But when I hear a bunch of history about creek-powered mills in a lovely park setting, all I gotta wonder is, you know, what's in this water? And we're gonna start the day off with a good old number 18 hook on a Carolina rig. First fish of the day. Old bluegill. Alright, first fish of the day is little bluegill. Can only get more exotic from here. Got him. Got him. Whew. To the photo tank. That didn't take long at all, and we got us a new species for the channel. The tricolor shiner, a very beautiful species of fish, especially when they get into their spawning colors, which is how they got the name tricolor shiner, thanks to those 3 different colors that appear on his dorsal fin. This is one of those small species that if you show somebody who's, you know, usually does not care for this small style of fishing, they can still appreciate the colors of this fish. Anyway, let's get him back. Let's let our little shiner go. Gorgeous. So unfortunately, I forgot to hit record after I got done filming that tricolor shiner release. So we completely missed the catch on this right here, which is yet again another new species for the channel, and actually it's a new species for me personally. The red ear sunfish. Aptly named thanks to that little colored patch behind his ear flap. They also go by the name shellcracker because they tend to have a heavy diet of mollusks. They have these grinder plates near the back of their throat where they're able to just crush up any shells that they get into their mouth. And this little stream here is just chock full of snails just everywhere underneath this water. Almost every single rock is covered in them. So they're feeding good in here. Not new for the channel, but always a joy to see a good old long ear sunfish. He's actually missing his flap on this side. Huh. You've been through something, haven't you? Alright. Pretty thing. But we already got you. Another bluegill. There are quite a lot of them in here. Well, I'm having a difficult time getting through all the bluegill, so we're going to target a little better. As I make my way along the bottom of this creek up towards the shallow rapids, I notice a bunch of darters as well as shiners swarming the area. I swap over to the Tanago hook to try and zero in on the darters, but as I'm trying to finesse him, an absolute beast of a shiner grabs my attention and my bait. This is an Alabama shiner. Endemic to the Mobile Basin and found most frequently above the fall line, this shiner earns its scientific name Calistia from that beautiful spawning colored dorsal fin. As you can see from that extra bumpy head, this shiner has the largest breeding tubercles of any cyprinella. So it's an absolutely gorgeous fish, but we need to get back to the darters. Oh, I am excited about this. This is my first ever darter, the black-banded darter. The Percidae family is referred to as darters due to their darting movements along the benthic zone in search of food. They actually use their pelvic and caudal fins to prop themselves up when they're sitting on the bottom of the stream. And while this isn't the most colorful species of darter out there, the black-banded darter is the most abundant and widespread in Alabama. So, I mean, it makes sense. We all have to start somewhere. Mean old thing broke my hook off. Well, you did have pretty colors until you wanted to act a fool. And on that note, I think we're gonna call it. There are so many gnats out here, but there's also a ton of species in this water system. You know, for the few hours that I spent out here, we did pretty good. I mean, if I'm counting correctly, it should have been something like 4 new species today. And there were a couple other species that are swimming around in here that I laid eyes on, but could not get to commit to a hook. Some sucker species, a type of bass that's in here, but the bass here are heavily pressured, especially on this little stretch where everybody has bank access. But it's definitely not gonna be the last time that I ever come here. It's just, I'm out of time for today. But until then, y'all have a good one.